everyone, it's Daniel. This is another quick devlog. We're looking at the title screen for Redout, and I'll talk about why later. I want to talk about today monetization for Sequence Storm 2.0 in general. Before I do that, I want to talk about updates, just what I've been doing for the last week or two. I have been working on some common crashes that people have been getting. I don't think I got all of them, but there was one in particular, I don't know why, but this one crash was affecting a lot of blind players, and I'm still confused about that, but I discovered it was because there's an OpenGL function that I'm using to draw particles that was not being found for some reason, and so I fixed in air quotes, that by just not calling that function, and so for those users particles don't work, but I don't know why, but anyway, most of those users were blind, so it doesn't, who cares if particles don't work. But at least, you know, people who were getting that crash can at least play the game with broken particles. At this point, I don't care. I don't know if that issue is it in my end or their end? Is it something to do with like old hardware or drivers or something? Everyone I talked to said they had up-to-date graphics drivers and stuff, so it could be on my end. I'm just happy that it's now. I spent more time working on the crash logging, and there's still issues with it. I'm kind of sick of working on it for now, but there's supposed to be logs like this in the crash log. We're looking at two examples of crash logs. This first one is what I've been getting, which is just a bunch of errors. And then down here is what I expect to get. This is what I get when I crash the game. I get a file name, a line number, function name. I get all this useful info, but for some reason, whenever somebody sends me a crash log, I don't get that info, and I do have some info here on what's going on. There's some error code. I don't know. I'll hopefully be able to figure this out later, but this has just been a continuous problem. Like, people send me crash logs, and I don't have enough info to figure out why the game crashed. I did streamline the crash reporting thing a little bit. Often people don't know which log to send me, so I'm taking the appropriate one that has the crash and copying it to a file called crashlog.txt, so it's easy to find the one to send me. I'd like to streamline it even further to where the game can automatically email those crash logs to me, and people don't have to send it to me. I bet there could be a lot of crashes happening that I don't know about, but haven't sent me the logs. So I'd like to do that. Anyway, that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. I want to talk about monetization of what I'm going to do in Sequence Storm 2.0. That's like the next major version of the game that I'm working on. Hope my levels are good. That should be pretty quiet music. Alright, so for 1.0, the game it's just a fixed price, $15, and you get the whole game. I want to try something different. I want to try a free-to-play model. And I have a few different goals. Number one, I just want to get more people playing the game. Just in general. If I can just have lots of people playing the game, there'll just be more people, you know, buying stuff and supporting, right? I want also less friction for people to get into the game. So there is a free demo right now, but to try that, you have to download the free demo, play the game for a bit, and then if you decide you want to buy, there's a whole process of, okay, go to the Steam store, buy the full version, upgrade, and that's still a little bit of friction. The last goal, I just want to have lots of different ways for people to support the game if they want to. So the idea that I have is to give away the base game for free, just the basic game, kind of like what's in the demo, but a little bit more. I'll talk about that. I'd like to have, like in the game's campaign, the entire main mission line to be available in the free version. And and all the tracks that go with that. I'm gonna have to rearrange the mission flow a little bit, but I think it's gonna come out to about 18 or so tracks if you play it all and unlock everything. And I think it's like 36 or so missions in total that you'll get just in the free version. Now, what I would like to do, what I'm inspired by free-to-play games, because there's like one of my games that I like to play is called Path of Exile. It's a free-to-play online action RPG type of game, and in that game, the entire game is free, but there's tons of different things to buy. There's all kinds of cosmetic items. There's just, if you want to support the game, there's a million ways to do it. So I'm kind of interested in that. I don't think I want to give out like the whole game for free. So what I want to do is to have just a little bit of content for free, but I want to sell packs of songs, and I add a lot of value. When you buy one of these packs, you're going to get a number of tracks. You'll also get all of the missions that correspond with those tracks. And of course, when there's more missions for you to play, there's more ways for you to earn credits. Also the passive items that you can unlock by playing these missions, that is kind of like included in the DLC. Maybe the full soundtrack versions of the tracks can be included if you buy. So I want to add a lot of value to these song packs. I don't just want to sell song packs, but it's also going to have missions, items. I also kind of think maybe I can pack in cosmetic items. And that's another thing when I talk about monetization and different ways to support. I'd like people to be able to show their support by buying, cosmetic items. And also for the editor, there's a lot of different set pieces. I was thinking like maybe there could be packs of, or included with these song packs, you would get set pieces and environments like models and things that you can use in your own tracks in the editor. So this is a lot of different ways that I can kind of add value to selling a song pack. It's not, a lot of games sell these song packs, but I'm trying to think of all different ways to add more value. And everyone who already has the game, by the way, will get all the stuff that exists already. You won't have to like re-buy anything. And the reason I was looking at Redout here is because of the way that they kind of, they have a list of missions. It's just one big linear list, but the DLC missions and tracks appear in this list. So as you're scrolling through, it's almost like the game is advertising to you things that are available. So I would like to do something similar where as you scroll through the list of missions in the game, in the campaign, you see these missions that are unavailable to you, and it's pointing you at like, okay, if you want this, this content, this is how you get it. But this is kind of, I steal a lot of things from Redout, so this is another one where I'm like, okay, I could do something similar. So yeah, cosmetics, I would like to, this involves changing the way the game works a little bit. Right now, it seems like the most common thing people like to do is to play, in the arcade, they like to play score mode. But in that mode, you don't see your rig on the screen. So I think what I'll do is change things up a little bit, put the player's rig on the screen in all these modes, so that there's reason to buy it. No one's going to like purchase any like cosmetics or skins if you don't even see it. So, but also other ideas for cosmetics are note skins or different types of like effects and things. There's all kinds of things that I can maybe not sell on their own, but like bundle with track packs and stuff to add more value. And I'm thinking about right now, so in the demo version of the game, the free demo, you don't get access to the editor or the Steam Workshop. I'm considering just letting people giving them access to those things in the free version of the game, because again, it's one of those friction things. So people, they download the free version and then they have access to stuff right away, and maybe that will make the whole game feel a lot more, because there's a lot of content there on the workshop right now, and so if that stuff was just available, I think the whole game would be a little more interesting to users who are just checking out the game for the first time. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Also, now if I go this route of offering packs, this will help me a lot in developing the future content. I want to create a new campaign for Sequence Storm 2.0 version. But creating, as I already know, creating this big storyline and a huge, it's just a lot of work creating all the tracks. So I'd like to be able to do it in smaller pieces, and maybe so if I could release the new campaign, maybe one act at a time or something, and maybe just release one, here's Act 1, and it contains maybe 10 tracks and a bunch of missions. That way, there's not pressure for me to generate this huge campaign all at once. That's a huge task. So if if I'm selling this bits and pieces at a time, it might be a little easier for me. And then I was thinking of ways to integrate Patreon. If you're on my Patreon, maybe you can just get the content for free. I don't know. And I was even thinking about, right now with my Patreon, there's absolutely no rewards, and maybe what I need to do is, but there's also things that people want. And I'm kind of considering well, should I put price tags on some of these features that people want? I don't know how I feel about that, but making the editor accessible is one thing. That's a huge task. I'm interested in doing it, but I don't know, is it fair to say if I'm getting so much, do I want to put a price tag on that work? Maybe? I don't know. This kind of thing where I want to know people's opinions. So another thing I'd like to do, so I did that Team Trees event. I'd like to do more stuff like that, but at the same time I'm thinking, how do I monetize that? With the Team Trees thing, that actually cost me money because I said, if you earn trees, I will donate, and that was fine, but it was fun to do. It got a lot of people playing the game, so I'd like to do something like that, but how can I add in, can I release a new song pack that's involved with the event or something like that? I don't know. So special events is something I'm definitely interested in, and that's something that Path of Exile, I talked about, they have I think every quarter they come up with they call supporter pack, which is just a pack of cosmetics and stuff that you get, you buy it all. I don't know. If you want to support the game, you buy these supporter packs, you get a ton of cosmetics. It's a really good deal, and it's a way to support, the game if you want. So I could do this type of, I don't know, quarterly, periodic content, and it could come with supporter pack, And I think that is just about it. That's everything I want to talk about. That's kind of monetization. That's only just one topic. I want to I've been doing so much lately, and I've been kind of overwhelmed with things to put in a devlog, so maybe if I just talk about one topic at a time, it'll be easier. So what do you think about all the ideas I discussed? And subscribe to this channel. I want to do this more. The plan is always to do this every Monday. It's difficult, but we'll see what happens. Now that I have a lot of stuff to talk about, I think it'll be a bit easier. And check out the Patreon if you want to support. So that's it, and I will talk to you next Monday. Thanks, bye.